What's going on, guys? One love out to everybody. We got UFC 286 Edwards versus Usman part 3 predictions breakdown, guys. Before I get started, hit the thumbs up button so these videos can come out to get out there to the masses. Also, check out my Patreon account for all the face-off prediction and prop plays. And you can also donate to the channel to my PayPal account, which people has been donating, a couple people, and I really appreciate that. One love out to everybody. If you haven't donated yet, still one love, alright? This fight card going to be over there in England, a rematch between Edwards and Usman, so it's 1-1 even. Usman beat him earlier in his career by decision, and recent fight, Edwards got a head kick knockout, but it was a fake. He faked the hand and followed up with the kick. You see this a lot in Kyokushin and Shotokan karate. They use their hand to kind of be a distraction, leave the hand out there, and then behind the hand comes the head kick. It's a nasty knockout, man. It's an unpredictable technique, right? Technique you don't see coming is the one that knock you out. The fake is a fake technique, right? It fakes you out and then bam, right? So it happens that. So this is going to be the rematch here. It's going to be over there in England. So Usman's going to be in his hometown here, in his backyard, right? 15 fights on the card. We also got Gaethje and Fiziev, which is going to be an amazing fight here. Let's jump into this real quick here, guys, and knock this out. First fight here, we got Veronica Hardy versus Juliana Miller. Veronica Machado, I believe. So I guess she married to Hardy. What's his name again? Friggin', I forgot his name, man. Greg Hardy. I could be Greg Hardy. Greg Hardy. I forgot that guy's name though, but obviously his last name is Hardy. Alright, so Greg Hardy. I know it's not Greg Hardy though. So with Hardy here, her last fight here was in 2020, right? And she has a taekwondo base here. The striking is not bad. She has a little spinning back kick. She has some roundhouse Marshigeri kicks to the head. Punches are most of the set up the kicks. But she hasn't been in the octagon for a while because she been dealing with some concussions, right? So with the fight game, it's, you can get burnt out, you can get hit to the head a lot, like what I told you. When you get hit to the head, you can do damage. So you're dealing with some concussions. So it's kind of like having anxiety in a kind of sense. Like you kind of like, you're trying to figure out what's wrong with you, but you can't. So everything is a problem. Everything is starting to fire off in your body. You may have headaches, you may throw up, and you're just trying to figure it out. So basically she was in the dark dealing with a lot of demons. She was basically looking at the walls and etc, etc. This is something that I've kind of went through myself, so I know what it is. I went through bad anxiety, and it was dealing from my past, and also I was trying to get into MMA and also fight and all these things. So there's a lot of stress that goes along with it. You may not be performing at your best, or you feel that you can perform better, but then you go in there and you lose, and then you just want to go back and just do it again, just real fast, because you're fighting the demons, you're fighting the dragon, and you just want to keep going and going because you feel that you can win. But then the problem is that you're just burning out your adrenal glands, you're just burning out yourself, you burn out your organs, you're burning your body out, and you're stressing your body out, which is going to fatigue, and then you're going to mess up your kidneys and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so she's been dealing with a lot of stress and I guess concussions. So she's coming back to fight Juliana Miller, which won the Contender Series here. She doesn't handle pressure too well though, right? And she would look for the submission, but she don't handle pressure too well, and she don't really have that one hitter quitter in the strikes, and also dealing with concussions and all these things. You just don't know what's gonna, you don't know what Veronica is gonna show up, right? So I mean, even though she wasn't really on a big winning streak, I mean, UFC, she only won one, you know what I mean? So she's 1, 2, 3, 4. She is 1-4 in the UFC. So I mean, it's not like she was winning consistently or stand out a lot. But hats off to all the fighters who are coming here and fight. It's not easy, especially when you have concussions, right? And she's also a beautiful woman, man. She's a very beautiful woman. She's naturally just beauty. It's difficult. I have a lot of women that they do all this makeup and all these things, but she's just natural, a very pretty woman. I just want to throw that out there. So basically, her opponent here, Miller, Juliana Miller, coming off the, not the contender, I think I mentioned contender series. She came off the tough season, and she won it. She has a 3-inch of height here and a 2-inch of reach, which is massive. Has a strong top game, so her mount is nasty, elbows and land on ground and pounds. Striking kind of wild, kind of suspect at time. Will pop the jab on you and look for takedowns. You know, she's gritty. She's a grinder. You know, she will go for takedowns, keep pushing forward. Very aggressive. She also revenged her loss here against Claire in Invicto. Claire was also in the tough season, and she went back and she beat her by decision. So she actually revenged her loss. So basically that one loss, right? Yeah. So for this fight here, though, man, I mean, it's difficult, you know, to go for Hardy. You know, as I said, Hardy is a pretty, you know, she's a decent fighter, and she could come back here a lot better. You know, better takedown defense. You know, I mean, she's accurate with the shots, but doesn't really pack the power like that, right? And she can get taken down, but she does have a submission game though, so that's something to look at there. So it possibly could be a submission from her. But I'm gonna go with Juliana here, and I'm gonna say Juliana by submission in the first round. But I'm not confident here, guys. And reason why I'm not confident, because even though Hardy may have a concussion and this and that, she gonna be the more experienced woman here. And it's just, this fight here is just kind of difficult, man. You know, I mean, even though the killer Miller, you know, she looks good too, but just the experience, man. It's difficult to be confident in these kind of plays here, right? So I'm gonna say Miller by submission first round. I'm not confident. And yeah, see, with Veronica here, she only have one by knockout. She actually submits you more. Her percentage to finish a fight is by submission, and even by decision, but mostly decision. But the submission to finish you is going to be that, not much of a knockout artist or that one-hitter quitter. So I'm going to go with Miller here. I'm going to say Miller by submission first round. And the percentage, I'm going to say 30-70. So 30 for Hardy and 70 for Miller. So you probably say, man, you're 30-70, so that means you should be confident, right? But nah, man, if fights like this, man, you just have to be very careful with it, man. Just, you know, I was kind of going more, you know, maybe 40-60, but then, you know, with Veronica being out, she have concussions. It's difficult, man. It's hard when you're in the dark like that and you try to come back, you know, and then you're fighting your demons, and you know, man, usually you just never come back the same, you know, and that's from experience. So, or, you know, in a fight game like this, just to challenge your own self is different. And maybe she's challenging her own self here. Maybe she's, you know, when fights like this is always about you. You know, you're trying to fight the demon inside of you. So it's not about what other people think. It's just mostly about, you know, I'm testing myself here. It's about self-improvement. So it's possible that she could come out and win. So, but Miller submission first round. Next fight we got Jai Herbert versus Ludwig Klein. Also remember, guys, this card is in England, so there could be some upsets here and some favoritism going on here for the guys that are from England, so be careful with that. So Jai Herbert, Ludwig Klein. I went back and forth on this fight here, man. Herbert here is hometown favorite. Let me see here. He has a 6-inch of height and 5-inch of reach, which is massive, man. This guy have a long reach, man. At least in the weight class. He's well-rounded, but can get knocked down, and that's what mostly happened to him. You know, he be winning the fight, even against Eli Toporo. He's winning the fight. He's basically knocking down Toporo. You know what I'm saying? Majority of his fights, he's winning. Even against Francisco Trinaldo, he's winning the fights. Even against Renato, he's winning the fights, but then he get caught. And usually he gets knocked out. I believe he has 4 by knockout. He's been knocked out 4 times, right? So he's not durable. And that's the main thing here. He's not durable, and at times he can be hittable. But he will pop that jab on you, and he uses his reach pretty well. And he's rangy and technical. But he's just not durable. But his striking is on point, though. And when he's on, right? His opponent here, Klein. Klein is a pretty well-rounded guy too, but look to set up that head kick. The head kick is his main thing, man. So it's off the left leg. So he will fake it and come to the left kick. But he can gas out though. And let me see here. Like I said, he will mix up, the hands with the feet. You know what I'm saying? But he's not much of a boxer like that. I feel like Herbert, striking is more technical. I feel Herbert has more tools with the hands and the feet. I feel with Klein, he relies a lot on that head kick. And then he relies on us coming in real quick and just land a couple punches and bunks back out. But he doesn't mix it up like that, like how Herbert does it. From what I witnessed with Klein, he doesn't do good against guys who are rangy and then who can strike on the outside. You kind of have a hard time with them, man, especially when they're technical like that. I was kind of going for Klein here, but I'm going to push toward Herbert here, who's hometown favorite. Not because he's hometown favorite, but just the fact that just the matchup. I just feel like Herbert's going to keep him on the outside and just touch him up. And Klein does go for takedown, but Herbert's takedown defense is not too bad. And Klein doesn't really grinds like that because he will get gassed out, But he usually put against a cage and will try to drop down, but he doesn't go for takedowns consistent like that. He more bunks in and out. But I just feel Herbert, he's just more the technical, sharper, more precise striker here that's going to hit him with a 1-2, and then Herbert has that 1-2 down the pocket, bam bam. And so I'm gonna go with Herbert here. I'm gonna say Herbert by decision, but I'm not confident in this fight at all because, like I said, Herbert, he's not durable, man. And if Klein hit him with that head kick, you just never know, even a punch. So a guy that's not durable like that, I'm gonna say decision by Herbert though. I'm gonna say 50-50, man. So this is an even fight for me. So, you know what I'm saying, play at your own risk. Nothing confident here. Okay. Next fight here, we got Joanne Wood versus Luna Carolina. This is the next fight here, man. I'm gonna tell you right now, this is 50-50, man. Hometown favorite is Wood. She can get submitted, and that's her problem there. Majority of the time, she's been submitted 5 times. It's just that she be striking. She's looking decent in the photo. Actually, she's not bad at her striking. She mixes it up. She have a Muay Thai kind of base, switch her stance, fights long, but man, she just keep getting submitted, man. That's it. You know what I mean? She has a sharper striker here than Luna. She sets it up better and she's more precise and the techniques land. You know what I'm saying? She's better form, better execution. With Luna here, Luna is gonna have a 4-inch of reach, which is massive, but man, she doesn't use her reach well. And her strikes doesn't stick. She's missing. There's no how can I say it now? There is no emotional content, with her technique, like behind the technique. We need emotional content, not anger. So her striking is like, it's just like it just doesn't stick. It's just very kind of like a very nonchalant, it doesn't connect. It's just out of range, With Wood is like jabbing sticks, jab sticks, the kick stick, everything is like pam 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 pam. You know what I'm saying? So with Luna here, I mean, she may come in here and go for takedown. I mean, if I was her corner, I'd be like, man, just take this girl alone and just ground and pound her because she can't stop takedowns. And I have a feeling in the back of my mind that's what's going to happen. This Luna chick here is going to come in there and get a takedown. Because from what I see, Wood don't stop takedowns, man. So Luna gonna act like she's striking, and she's gonna get a takedown most likely. Or pin her against the cage and work it there, man. Honestly, guys, Luna to me is like, she don't have enough tools, and Wood has more tools. It's just that you just don't know, man. This is like a 50-50. I'm not confident, and I tell you no, if Luna wins this fight, I won't be surprised. Believe me. So, because she could come in here and just go for ground, because like I said, Wood don't stop takedowns. Luna not the best ground practitioner. She's more kickboxing, Thai stand up, but again, Wood doesn't stop takedowns, so it doesn't even take much. Look, ankle pick, a double leg, single, whatever, right? So I'm gonna go with Wood here. I'm gonna say Wood by decision, but now I'm not confident at all. And be careful. It's a fight where, it depends on what you're doing. I would probably fade it. or just go under. Just dog or pass it, man. Just to be honest with you. Be careful. Next fighter, we got Jake Hadley versus Malcolm Gordon. This is the next one here, man. No, Jake Hadley out of England too. This guy here is a prospect. You know, I mean, he's not bad, right? His takedown is good. His ground game is not bad. Off his back, he got submissions. Striking is not bad, but he can get taken down and put on his back. And his last fight here against Nascimento, he was on his back for like every single round, just trying to throw up submissions, right? Problem about this fight here is that the guy that is fighting is game. Malcolm Gordon is game. Don't sleep on this guy. This guy is game and he's very experienced. Malcolm X, he's very experienced, man. He went with Muhammad here, Makhachev, who is a good prospect, and he gave this kid a run, man. You know, there was points of the fight where he was kind of taking over. But even though he got submitted, though, but this was a fight for Muhammad to win. But it shows that Malcolm X here is not a guy to take lightly, right? And you know, Hadley is still kind of coming up. You know, still a, you know, like a young cat. You know, experience is not really there as much. You know, with Malcolm has the experience. You know what I mean? So even though it's 14-6, but he has experience. So I mean, this guy has lots of forward pressure. He's heavy-handed, but he leads with his freaking chin there, though. And sometimes he gets sloppy when he's coming in, swinging and missing. He has a decent ground game too. His ground game ain't bad. He's a BJJ black belt, and his ground game is not bad, man. And he will submit you. So this fight here, guys, I mean, I'm gonna go for Hadley because, you know, just that I see more holes in Gordon than I do, you know, in Hadley. But again, if Gordon comes in there and I start taking him down and scrambling on him and stuff like that, then Hadley could be in problems, and it could be a decision win for Gordon. Believe me. But I'm going to go Hadley though, man. I'm going to go Hadley by KO TKO in the first round, and I'm not friggin' confident. This is 50-50, and Gordon has a chance. Believe me. I'm just not confident in picking Gordon because I'm not confident in this fight. I see little holes in Gordon. Like I said, he comes in with his chin, and I feel Hadley can hit, and when he hits, he connects precisely on the target. So this point of getting a win would be when Gordon is rushing in, and he counters him, catch him coming in. But I mean, we'll see what happens. But I'm gonna say Hadley by KO TKO in the first round. I'm not confident. 50-50. Play at your own risk, man. Next fight here, we got Christian Leroy Duncan versus Dusko Torvik. Christian Duncan here. I'm trying to see which guys are. Okay, no, this guy's fell off the card here. All right, Christian Duncan here is coming from I want to say Cage Warriors. This guy here did a lot of research, and I did a lot of research on him. He's not bad. 17-5 amateur, which is pretty good, man. A big amateur. He has an orthodox strike in here. He would throw spinning heel kicks. Seem to have like a karate kind of base to him, in and out. Blitz forward. He is well rounded. Let me see here. He counter strikes, push forward, very aggressive. He will look for the knockout or the submission. Very explosive guy, man. Very athletic guy. I like how this guy look, man. Even though he's gonna be his debut in UFC, you know, I can watch fights and I can see when a guy is really, really skilled. And this guy is he's a good prospect and very, very skilled with a big amateur like that. 17-5. That's a massive amateur there, man. It shows that he has a lot of experience. Dusko here. Dusko's experienced guy too. We have a couple fights in UFC already. He's well rounded, but he mostly will look to get the takedowns, more look for ground and pound you. But he can get caught coming in. Sometimes he rock back and forward, kind of have like a shell defense kind of style, like a Philly shell defense there. But he doesn't really do it well because when he's going back, he's like leaning straight back with his chin up in the air, and usually he get caught. You know what I mean? So he can't do that with Duncan. If he rocks his head back there, Duncan's gonna connect, right? And his chin is just up in the air, man. So for this fight here, man, like I said, Dusko has experience. I'm saying he fought a couple guys, even though the guys that he lost to is still experience. You know, it's still a learning process. But I'm gonna go with Duncan here, and I like Duncan by KO TKO in the first round. And I'm not too confident in this one. I'm gonna say Duncan 60%, and I'm gonna say Dusko 40. All right, and the reason for that because, like I said, he's coming to UFC. You got the UFC jitters. I mean, some guys look good in other organization, and when they get to UFC, it just don't look that good, man. It just happens like that. We see this a lot. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and he's undefeated. So we see this a lot, man. But again, he has a big amateur though, so that plays a huge factor. That's why I'm kind of leaning towards him, giving him like a 60-40 there. All right. Next fight here, we got Lerone Murphy versus Gabriel Santos. Leon Murphy here is a very good fighter, man. Good prospect, man. Well-rounded. Can get taken down, but he hasn't shown. He showed improvements though, and been working his takedown defense from what I see from his fight against Marquand, Douglas, Andrade, Ricardo Ramos. When he fought Zabara here, it was a split decision. He was getting taken down a lot, but he was getting back up and striking, you know, and landing his techniques. But he has improved his takedown defense here, right? The guy that is fighting though, Gabriel Santos. This guy here, he looks well-rounded, a lot of forward pressure, aggressive and decent ground game. So this guy here is gonna push for takedowns, man. He's gonna grind and push for takedowns. Coming off of LFA, yeah, man. I heard that Murphy got in an accident, so I saw some report about that. I believe he was on his bicycle or something, and he got hit off. He got really, man. He was like bleeding everywhere or something like that. But he wasn't doing well. I think it was like a life or death thing. So, I like Murphy, but man, like I said, man, it's sometimes difficult when guys get injured or get hurt. Don't know how they're gonna look. And a guy like Gabriel Santos, this guy is game. And this guy's gonna grind for takedowns. Now keep this in mind. Now Gabriel's a short notice though, so it's supposed to be Nathaniel Wood. So Gabriel's a short notice. So that's the only one thing there. So and he's making his debut out of LFA. Man, I'm a push for Leon Murphy here, but be very careful with this one, man. And I must say Murphy 60%. And Gabriel Santos 40. I mean, it's close, man. This should be a very close fight, guys. I would be very careful with this one too, man. I like Murphy, but again, the accident can play a factor, man. You just don't know. He hasn't fought. Last time he fought was 2021. So he's been out for a while again with the accident. See what I'm saying? So. I mean, that is what I heard. I mean, I don't know how true that is, but yeah, be careful with this one. But I like Murphy by decision, but 60-40, be careful. Play at your own risk. Next fighter, we got Makhachev. Oh man, I know I mispronounced that. Versus Rafael Fiziev. Muhammad, like I said, is a good freaking prospect, man. This guy is good all the way around, man. Massive. There's a guy with a massive amateur total, 22-0. With 22-0, I'm looking at 22-0. I mean, man, that's a big amateur background to have, man. Strong ground game, striking is pretty good. It's all around good, man. I really don't see no holes in this guy, right? His opponent here, Philo, it looks well rounded too. Will grind, very technical on the stand up and the ground. So this guy is gonna push a pace too, man. This guy's gonna come for. I believe come of the contender series. Yeah, this guy's gonna push a pace. And he's going to look to take your head off. He's going to look to get the takedowns. This guy is experienced too, but like I said, with Muhammad, man, that big amateur background he has plays a huge factor. 22-0 is a lot of experience. Even though he's amateur, but he's still playing the game. He still have 22 fights amateur. So he's been putting in time. And the more moments, the more energy you put into something, you know, you should grow from it. I must say Muhammad by decision, because like I said, Philo doesn't look bad to me. Yeah, I feel like he's a good test too. He's a good match. It's a good matchup, man. So it could be a close fighter, guys. I must say, but Muhammad 70% and Philo 30%, and I must say Muhammad by decision. But be very careful, guys, because like I said, Philo is not bad. Next fight here. We have Sam Patterson versus Yanal Ashmoz. This one is an interesting one here, guys, man. Patterson here, man. Come off the contender series, man. This guy is 155. 6'3" height and 78-inch reach. That's freaking massive, man. So he's gonna have a 10-inch reach over Ashmov's. 10-inch of reach and a 6-inch. No, hold on. Yeah, and a 6-inch of height. Massive for the weight class, but can get backed up. Notice that. His chin is high up, and he's slow at the punches and the movement, right? So when he's punching, his chin is up in the air. He can get backed up. He can get knocked down. But he has a submission game on him, though, and he's well rounded. So he will target with punches, and he will get a guillotine or, I believe, a naked choke, and he will put you in a submission, right? And sometimes he misses with his shots, too, with his strikes. So like his timing is off, his precision is off, right? His opponent here, Ashmov here. Ashmov kind of remind me of like kind of like a Khabib or a Merab, right? A Merab Dezavili. He kind of remind me of Dezavili He can remind me of Marab Dezavili slightly, or a Khabib. You know, not on obviously the same level, but he's kind of have that kind of vibe to him. You know, the kind of skills to him, right? Very grinding, straightforward pressure. He's non-stop. Just keep coming forward. Would throw over hands, heavy hands. Would push the center, push against the cage. Would look for takedowns. He can be hittable though, but you know, he just keep coming forward though. He looks to slow down, but his slowdown is not like he's giving up or is like, I'm done. He's still pushing a high pace. He's going to have the speed advantage here. He's going to be the quicker fighter here to close the distance and move straight forward. And against Patterson, you can close the distance. You can close the distance in Patterson, get into that center range, or push him against the cage easily. He just goes straight across because Patterson is not the quicker puncher here. Right? And like I said, he has the reach and the height, but he's not the quicker guy here. And Ashmov is going to close that distance quick and probably back him against the cage and look for takedowns. Probably ground and pound. You know, it could be submission, it could be knockout. But I'm liking Ashmov here, man. I mean, what I see from Patterson, I'm just not impressed with Patterson. Again, hats off to all the fighters there. You know, all of them deserve to be here. But talking about the skill and the matchup, I just feel like he's hittable and his technique is just not as sharp. And he's open to get knocked down, and he can get taken down. And a guy like Ashmov, who's like a Khabib or a Merab, grinding, just non-stop. I mean, you're gonna have to knock out Ashmov, like just knock him out cleanly or submit him, which, you know, maybe Patterson can do it, but I'm gonna go with Ashmov here. I'm gonna say Ashmov by KO TKO, guys. Ashmov KO TKO in the first round, and I'm not confident, guys. This is a 50-50 fight for me. This is 50-50. I like an Ashmov KO TKO first round. Not confident. Next fight here, guys. We got Chris Duncan versus Omar Morales. This is an even fight too. Chris come up the Contender Series. I believe he was on there twice. I believe he got knocked out by Brazzaville. Vishals Brazzaville. I mispronounced that. In the second round. Straightforward pressure would look to wrestle. Wrestling is base. Striking is kind of suspect. You know, he's there to get hit. Kind of a zombie vibe to him, but he's game. And, you know, in his last two fights here, he's been looking a little better. You know, I mean, he even won the Contender Series here. Actually got a knockout over Charlie Campbell. His opponent here, Omar Morales, I was kind of high on Morales at one time, you know, but it looks like he's kind of like not really doing much. He's like kind of slowing down, or is not as confident as he used to be. Striking base, he's very technical. I believe it's a kickboxing base there, karate base. But like I said, he hasn't been putting it together lately. You know, it's just kind of like hittable. You know, he can get taken down, he can get submitted, and even knocked out, right? So, I mean, this guy, you know, he's a good striker, but it's kind of difficult. You know, he just hasn't been looking the same. And a guy like Chris Duncan, who's hungry, he doesn't look like Omar Morales is hungry anymore. It looks like he doesn't really want to be in there. You know, so I'm gonna go with Chris Duncan here. I must say Chris Duncan by decision, man, but definitely not confident in this one because, like I said, Duncan, he's there to get hit, and Omar Morales can hit, man. But this is the thing: is he able to knock out Chris? He can, but is he able to do it that night? You know, he is the vintage Omar. Is that Omar from the Contender Series going to be there again? I don't know. I don't know what Omar is going to show. So I'm going to go with Chris Duncan. I'm going to say Chris Duncan by decision. 50-50, guys. Not confident. Next fight here, guys. We have Jack Shore versus Makwan Amirani. Oh, Makwan Amirani. Oh man, Amiraki. Jack Shore here, man, is pretty well-rounded guy, man. Smart fight IQ. Lost to Simone, but that's not a bad loss. You know, he got knocked down, he got hurt on the foot, and he got submitted. Right? So Shore is a very good fighter, man. Isn't it? Hey, man, in this game, you know you can lose. That's just part of the game. It happens, right? So some you win, some you lose. You know, and against Simone, who is a top contender here, is a good fighter too. So there's nothing wrong about losing to Ricky Simone, right? Let me see here. Yeah, his opponent here, Makwan. Makwan is, you know, he's kind of one-dimensional, man. Actually, he is one-dimensional. You know, not much striking from him. Not much boxing. He will use some punches and kicks just to get the takedowns, and if he gets it, he'll look for submission. His favorite submission is what? Anaconda choke, right? So I mean, he's technical on the ground, and if he can get the submission, he get it quickly. But a guy like Jack Shore got hurt in the foot. That's why he got submitted. So Makwan gonna have to do more than just trying to shoot for takedown. He have to set it up better than that. So I'm liking Jack Shore here, and I'm gonna say Jack Shore 70% for the win. Jack Shore by decision, and so 70-30, okay, and Shore by decision. Next fight here, guys, we got Marvin Vettori versus Ramon Dalanzi. Marvin Vettori here, man. He's a very well-rounded guy, man. Strong wrestling base. He's durable. This guy is, I mean, the fight against Whitaker, man, Whitaker put a beating on him in a clinic, and Whitaker hit him with all different type of techniques, man. I mean, that was a good stand-up from Whitaker, a good karate, traditional stand-up base, man. Kind of like a Stephen Thompson kind of vibe, right? But Vettori fought a lot of guys, though, man. Tough competitions, man. You know, he fought all the Israel Sana, Whitaker, Big Acosta, Jack Emerson, Cesar Ferreira. He fought Israel Sana a couple times. He lost to him twice. So, I mean, this guy has experience, man. His opponent here, Dalanzi. Roman Dalanzi, man, he's a good fighter too. I mean, in my opinion, he's a well-rounded guy. Striking can look kind of slightly suspect in a way. I mean, he not really a guy that's gonna like jab, and flow with the striking. He usually come at you when he knows you're hurt. Like example against a Phil Hayes, when Phil Hayes' knee got messed up and he tagged him and he see that it hurt, then he comes in and he just brawls, bam, 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 and just hook punches. He just goes all the way out. But it's not a guy to really like how Stephen Thompson or Whitaker is like he's set up from the outside and bam, bam, and they kind of flow with it. He's kind of tentative. He's kind of tentative with the striking, right? But when he sees that he has you hurt, then he just bursts on you, right? But he has a takedown game though, and his wrestling and his submission game is nasty. Against Jack Mershman, it was like a short notice, and he got him with a nasty back control submission, man. So this is not a guy to sleep on, but man, I just feel Vettori is a little bit more experienced here, man, and seeing it more. You know what I'm saying? A little more seasoned guy here. So I'm going to go with Vettori here, and I'm not confident in this one at all. This one's a 50-50, because like I said, Roman is not a bad fighter, man. And like I said, you know, he looked good in his last one against Jack Mershman, you know, especially on short notice. So, yeah, I'm gonna go Vettori here for the win. I'm gonna say Vettori by decision, and it's 50-50, man. This is an even fight for me, so be very careful. Next fight, we got Jennifer Maia versus Casey O'Neill. Maia here is pretty well rounded. I believe BJJ black belt, has a decent stand up there. Heavy hitter, physically strong in my opinion. She's gonna be in my opinion, she could be the physically stronger woman here, and in my opinion, she hits harder than Casey does, and she's more precise with the striking, so better striking, right? Maybe the ground game from O'Neill could be better, but Maia is a BJJ black belt. Also, Maia is just way more experienced, man. You know, she fought Caitlin Chukagian, she fought Maruz, Valentina Shevchenko, Caitlin Chukagian again. Roxanne Medafori, Liz Como, she fought a lot of women, man. And you know, so it's like she has a lot of experience. With Casey O'Neill, I feel she's still kind of learning here. She's still growing as a fighter, which that's a journey, right? That's just part of the game, man. And even against Roxanne Medafori, she was struggling in that fight. She got taken down, just didn't look too good in that fight. Went to a split. Antonina Shevchenko, you know, it's a good win for her, but I feel with Antonina Shevchenko, she doesn't really want to fight anymore. You know, she just doesn't want to beat her anymore. You know what I mean? If she got a win over Courtney Casey, but a split decision, but it doesn't look like, you know, fighting is what she wants to do, and that's okay. You know, there's nothing wrong with that, right? But yeah, man, I just feel like Shannon Dobson, you know, it's just the fights that she have is just not enough experience, and how she look against Metaphor, it just didn't look good, man. So I'm liking Jennifer Maia here, guys. And this fight here, I'm a 50-50 too, because like I said, you never know in these fights here, you know, Casey O'Neill could come in differently and possibly even get takedowns and just keep getting takedowns at Maia, because Maia can get taken down and she just win off a split decision over Maia. It's very possible. But I'm liking Maia here, and I'm going to say Maia by decision, and I'm not confident. And this fight is a next 50-50. This is probably similar to Veronica and Hardy and Miller fight, or Joanna Wood or Luna. Kind of similar in that kind of 50-50, man. Sometimes these women fights are kind of, you know, there could be a lot of upsets in them, you know what I mean? So you gotta be very careful, man. You may think that, oh man, Maya gonna come in here, you know, but in case you come in here and pull off a win, possibly even a submission, you never know. So, but Maia by decision, not confident, 50-50. Next fight, we got Gunnar Nelson versus Brian Barberino. Gunnar Nelson here is a good fighter, man. Let me see here. He has good footwork, in and out. I believe he has a Goju stylish karate base there. Smart fight IQ. BJJ black belts. He's skilled everywhere, man. This guy can take the fight wherever he wants to take it. If he wants to submit you or take you down, he will get it, right? So that's basically it. This guy's very, very good all around. Very good fighter. His opponent here, Barberino, or Barberano. Okay. It's a heavy-handed, straightforward pressure, very straightforward, but sometimes he brawl a lot though and just throw a lot of overhands. Can get taken down, got taken down against Rafael Santos, but I mean, Rafael Santos is, you know, that guy is a veteran, man, and Barberano is kind of a veteran, but not like a Santos. And Santos BJJ black belt, you know, it's not hard for him to get a takedown, and Barberano doesn't really stop takedowns too well. He can get taken down, and he can get submitted, right? I feel like he doesn't have the best fight IQ here, but again, he's heavy-handed, and sometimes Gunnar, even though in that karate base, sometimes when he's leading in with the straight right, sometimes kind of leaving it out there, and it's kind of, sometimes he telegraphs it, man. Like you can see it, and he leaves a punch out there, so he has to be careful that he doesn't get clipped, you know, and get knocked down. And Barberano is known for that, for those heavy hands. So we gotta be careful with this fight here, guys. I'm going Gunnar 60-40. I believe Gunnar will take him down or can take him down. So I'm going Gunnar 60% and Barberano 40. So I'm not too confident in this fight, man. Because like I said, if Nelson, you know, bounces in and you know, Brian catches him, then it's lights out. You know what I mean? It just happens like that, right? But the in and out motion from Gunnar, you know, is good. You know what I'm saying? So, but you know, you should be able to bounce it and out easily. But still, you gotta be careful with this one. So 60-40. Next fighter, we got Justin Gaethje versus Rafael Fiziev. Co-main event here, guys. This fight gonna be a good fight here, man. Gaethje here is pretty well-rounded guy, man. Mostly, you know, really this guy has a wrestling base, but he doesn't use it. He's just in love with the striking, and he has a lot of knockouts, you know, by leg kicks, right? So he's heavy with the hands and heavy with the leg kicks. He doesn't have the best fight IQ in my opinion, you know what I'm saying? I just feel like sometimes he just kind of like, you know, he just start winging punches and just throwing anything, you know, and especially the fights that he lost, you know, and then he can get caught, he can get hurt, you know, but he's getting hurt by like Charles Oliveira or Khabib. You know, he's getting hurt by top guys, man. You know what I mean? Dustin Poirier, Eddie Alvarez, you know. It's not like anybody's hurting him. You know what I'm saying? These are like top champion guys who were champion, or guys, yeah, guys that were champion, you know. Yeah, so his opponent here, Fiziev, Fiziev is a bad dude, man. This his Muay Thai, his stand up is on point. He's a heavy hitter, heavy leg kicks. His takedown defense is pretty good. The SANTOS probably only got him down one time in a 5-round fight. He would throw sweeps and he would push for takedowns too. Very technical. Yeah, and his takedown defense, like I said, is very, very good, man. Justin is gonna look just to stand up, man. You know, he doesn't really push for takedowns. I'm not saying he can't, but I feel Fiziev will stuff them. You know, this fight here, man, I just feel Gaethje is gonna be the more hittable guy here. Yeah, Fiziev is technical, man. He's on point, man. He switch stands, his precision in the strikes, where he throw his punches, his body shots. He work the leg, he work up the top. You know, wherever he put that is where he's gonna land. That's how sharp the guy is. He's not gonna be into just swinging a bunch of punches and missing. Where he hits is where he gonna hit. You know, is where the punch is gonna connect. And we see with Gaethje, you know, he got hurt against Charles Oliveira. You know, and you know Charles Oliveira is more known for a ground game. You know, for more of a ground guy. You know, most in the foot. Even though Gaethje hurt Charles Oliveira too, but a guy like Rafael Fiziev, I mean, this guy is like, he's pound for pound, man. Like I would say one of the best pound for pound strikers in the game, in the UFC. You know what I'm saying? In his weight class, in my opinion, as far as stand up goes, man. Like elusive and straightforward pressure, durable, you know, and pack power. So I'm liking Fiziev here. And I'm going to say Fiziev by KO in the 3rd round. And I'm going to go Fiziev for 60%. Because you can't sleep on Justin, because then the experience again. And Justin faced a lot of tough competition. But Fiziev is, this guy's game, man. His stand-up is on point. He's tested, and the guy's on point, man. Which you guys know already, you know. So, yeah, so I'm going to say Fiziev KO in the 3rd round. I'm not too confident, so I'm just going 60% Fiziev, 40 and Gaethje. All right. Main fight on the card here, guys. We got Leon Edwards versus Kamaru Usman Part 3. This fight is interesting. I watched the whole fight all over again. Like I said, guys, I watch every single footage on every single guy. I even go back and watch the fights all over. Edwards is very well-rounded, experienced guy. He have gotten better. His takedown defense has gotten better. But in that second fight there, he was getting taken down, man. The first round, he did good. You know, he initiated the takedown, the sweep, and it was mounted. He mounted Usman and was landing down strikes. So, and then he got his back, right? So Edwards won that first round, but after that, man, he was just getting taken down. You can see that Edwards was getting broken, getting tired, kind of gassing out a little bit until that 5th round when he landed his head kick right here. He set him up, this hand right here came out here, and then the kick came behind it. So they used the punch to mask the kick, right? So, can it happen again? Anything is possible in this game, man. I mean, to all I know, Leon Edwards can come in here and submit Usman, because Usman been submitted already too. So anything is possible, especially this going to be Edwards' hometown. He's going to be hometown favorite here. And Usman is coming over into his territory, right? Usman is a grinder, man. He's well-rounded guy. Striking, he's gotten better, but like you see here, there's still holes in it. And if he stands up with a guy who can really strike, he can get knocked out. There's possibility. Just like if Leon Edwards go against just a wrestler guy who can wrestle, he may get out wrestled, right? His striking has improved, though, like I said, but I feel in this fight here, Usman is not gonna stand in front of Leon, because that's what he did. He got too comfortable, and in that 5th round, he stand in front of him for those couple of minutes, and stand there in front of him, and like never close the distance, stand right in range. So he gave Leon the win, because the range is there. All Leon had to do is just put a fake and then land the technique. Put a fake and follow up with the real hit. And that's exactly what he did, because Usman was grounded. He was right there. He was in phone booth, right in front. There was great distance for the head kick to land. Now if Usman was moving around and pushing forward and moving around and pushing forward and laterally, then this wouldn't happen. Because to set up this technique, most of the time either the guy is going backwards or he's just standing still. And Usman was standing still, so Usman is going to be moving a lot in this fight, pushing, grinding. He made us come in here and just wrestle only. If that's the case, you're going to have to go to Usman here. I mean, if the fight goes to decision, most likely Usman is going to win it. Leon is going to have to submit Usman or knock him out, which is possible. But I feel Usman is a smart guy. He's a smart fighter, and he's going to just go back to his base. Keep it. He's going to go back to his simplicity, but not basic. You know, and keep it simple, but it's not a basic though. And then he's going to just maybe throw some punches and kicks, and then but mostly keep his leg moving and don't be in front of Leon and keep getting the takedowns. He's going to cut Leon at an angle, put him against the cage. Do the same thing he did in the second fight, but difference is no, he's not going to be in front of him standing there. You know what I mean? So I have to go to Usman here. But again, I'm going to be Usman 60% and Leon 40%. And I'm going to say Usman by decision. But be careful with this one though, man, because like we see here, the head kick knockout, anything is possible. Edwards could get a next knockout again. Maybe Edwards is definitely in his head because he knocked him out. So it's definitely, or maybe Edwards' takedown defense has gotten even better than the last fight, and Kamaru Usman have a hard time taking him down. Very possible, but I don't really see that though. I see Usman is takedowns is very elusive, man. It's hard to stop his takedowns. So I say Usman decision. Usman 60%, Leon 40%. I'm not confident. Be careful with this one because Leon could pop a win out. All right, quick look at the odds here, guys. So we're working with crazy odds. Crazy odds. Crazy odds. Let's see what we're working with. What you working with? Show them what you're working with. That's Bellator, right? Show them what you're working with. Bellator, that guy that odds when the fighters come on the stage. Show them what you working. I think it's like a hype man or something. Show them what you're working with. Come on, get it. All right. Machado Miller -500. Holy crap! No way, man. Be careful. I don't know, dude. That's bananas, dude. Me? This fight right here, I wouldn't give Miller no -500, man. That is crazy. I give her 70% though, but the odds in her is too high. Like I said, you don't know what Machado is gonna come in. So anything is possible. So be careful with this one, man. Jay Herbert and Klein. Klein is -220. Damn. I would say this fight is even, guys. I feel Jai can win this fight, man. This is not even fight, man. Just from Klein's past performances against guys with reach and guys who can throw the strikes on the outside, doesn't do as well. So Klein being 200 here, to me, this is an even fight, which I have it 50-50. Be very careful. I like Herbert though. Could be wrong. You just never know, man. It's prediction. Next fight here, Wood and Caroline. Wood is 175. Man, I don't know. I say even, man. 50-50. Like I told you, it's an even fight. Play at your own risk. I'm going with Wood, but if Luna wins, I won't be surprised. Hadley 450, man. Be careful, guys, man. What we see from Hadley against Nascimento, be very, very careful. And Gordon is not a bad fighter, man. Just an experienced guy. To me, like I think I have this fight. Hold on, I have Hadley at I have this fight as even, man. So I feel this is an even fight, man. Be very careful, guys. Duncan and Dusko got Duncan at 200 and something. I think this fight should be a little more closer. This fight should be a little more closer, man. I have Duncan at 60%. This fight should be a little more closer. Just because of experience from Darko. But like I said, Christian Duncan has that big amateur 17-5. So, but still be careful with this one. I like Duncan though, but be careful. I was just too high on him. Gabriel Santos and Lerone Murphy. Lerone Murphy at 185. I'm liking Murphy 60% of Murphy, but it could be a little bit closer, man. Just because of the accident, you just don't know. You don't know what Murphy gonna show up. I like Murphy, but still be careful. Damn, Muhammad, 900 against Philo. I'm like Muhammad is a good prospect, but Rafael Filo is not a bad fighter. Be careful, man. Careful. But I think Muhammad should win though. But I wouldn't mess with this too much. All right, dog. But you can go under if you feel like it. But I feel Muhammad should win though. But be careful though. Sam Patterson is negative 280, 290. Wow. Oh my goodness. I'm going for Asmov. Hometown favorite is Patterson. Wow. I'm liking Asmov. From what I've seen on footages, I like Asmov, man. I just don't see... Patterson just doesn't look good, man. He doesn't look good to me. Striking. His submission game is technical. His striking needs work, though, man. His chin is there to get hit, and his punches are slow. And Asmov is a quicker guy going forward. He's a quicker guy all around. Speed and punches and everything. And kicks and everything. Aggressive forward and double leg. Is elusive in the takedowns. Kind of like a Marab. Yeah, I like an Asmov. Player at your own risk, though. Duncan and Morales, perfect, even. Nah, I don't complain against that one. Jack Shore and Mach1, Jack Shore 550. I actually don't disagree with this one unless Mach1 get a submission, which is possible. But like I said, Mach1 needs to do more than just shooting, like shooting. You have to set up some kind of striking, some kind of technicality on the foot first. So Jack Shore is not bad here. Marvin Vettori and Ramon. Oh, they like Vettori here. Okay. I like Vettori too, but I feel this is more of a... I think I have this fight 50. I have this fight at even. I do believe Ramon Delancey could win. So be careful. Be careful with Vettori here, guys. Casey O'Neill and Jennifer... Casey O'Neill is favorite. 180 something. Whoa. That's interesting. That's interesting, guys. I disagree. I like it, Mayo. I believe I got Meyer. It's an even fight, 50-50. I disagree. I feel the odds and O'Neill is way too bananas high. That's bananas, man. This fight is an even fight. If it's anything, it's an even fight. Slight edge to Meyer, man, in my opinion. I'm liking Meyer, but again, like I said, some of the woman fights, man, it just always seem to be upset. So that could be one right there. Let's be careful though, guys. Gunnar Nelson 375. Man, against Barbarano. Oh man, Barbarano is a heavy hitter, man, and he can catch you coming in. He can catch you coming forward too. Wherever he can come forward and you're wherever. Yeah, Nelson should win this fight. I feel Nelson's the more well-rounded guy, but Nelson can get hurt too on the foot. So be careful with this one. I like Nelson, but I feel the odds are a little bit too high. But be careful. Justin Gaethje and Fiziev. Damn, Fiziev 250. Yeah, I feel Fiziev should win this fight, man, but you can't sleep on Justin Gaethje either because he's an experienced guy, so it should be a little closer. I would favor Fiziev, but a little bit more closer, man. I got the odds of these guys too high. I mean, Fiziev should win, don't get me wrong, but I just feel the odds of him is too high. You know? Alright, Usman and Leon Edwards. Usman is, they still favor Usman to win. Wow. Not a massive though, but they still favor him though. I disagree with this one. Nah. I mean, I have Usman 60%. So I think Usman should get a win here, man. Judging from the last fight. I'm not saying that the knockout from Edwards was a fluke knockout. It's just that you know, it's where Usman was standing and what he was doing when Leon landed technique. He was right in the range for Leon to land that technique, to set it up. You know, Usman was right in front of him, just standing there. You know, I mean, it's like he's saying, oh, you're going to stand there for me? All right, I'm going to just hit you with a 1-2. That's it. I'm going to hit you with a fake and follow up with a head kick. Since it's going to be in range for me to land a head kick on you, I'm just going to land it. If Usman learns from which Usman is a smart fighter, he's going to learn from this and he's going to keep moving. He's not going to be in the center, right in front of Leon anymore. You know, he's going to learn from his mistake, man. So, but we'll see what happens. Again, anything can happen, man. Leon could come in and get a win too. And, you know, you just never know. But that's the odds breakdown there, guys. One love out to everybody. Check out my Patreon account for my face-off predictions, which I'm going to drop on there. I may do some changes. Enough respect to all the patrons and all the donations to PayPal. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. I really appreciate it to give me more time. I know make more time to spend on breaking on these fights and watching every single footages and every single guy. Because that's how I do it. Even if the guy is like on a low card or he has, coming from the Contender Series or it's a low level fight, I still watch fights, man. Because that's how I roll, right? So one love up to everybody. Keep on kicking like Leon Edwards and or keep on kicking like me, Wayne Gitchie. And us.